So whenever I'm doing the wrong thing, nothing gets in my way. It's almost like if I was running to do something self-destructive, like jump out of a window, every door in front of that window would open up like, here, pick up more momentum. May your, may your accumulation of speed to toss yourself to destruction be accelerated with all of hell's might. And then at the same time, when I'm doing like what's right, and that's when I know I'm gonna meet all resistance. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna meet all resistance. So as it is now, I can't even get into my own YouTube account because I basically told too much truth. But truth is not about just telling the truth, it's about your intention. And there's no maliciousness in anything that I ever say. No maliciousness. No maliciousness. In the sense that if I'm doing something with the intention, like Yeshaya, he broke every law there was. But it was his intention. And that's why he wasn't so well received, because he came from a higher dimension. See, the sixth dimension is nice, but the sixth dimension deals with sex. So he came from 7, 8, 9, and then the repetition of that. But see, it's hard to be down here. It's literally hard. Like, your penis will be hard down here. It's literally hard to be down here. Like I say, they've sent in 2 flocks or fleets of new angels from 2021, 2022 with Hurricane Zeta from Zeta Reticula. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's true. And so as it is, they come down, they'll be down here for like a week, maybe a couple of days. They'll be like, yo man, they down here having a ball. And next thing you know, their balls are empty. Their balls are drained. And then that's when they began to become that which they themselves were sent to not really alter, but just to watch and oversee. But it's hard to watch. You know what I'm saying? I know. If anybody knows, I know it's hard to watch. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, it's a game. That's why I play the game. So really, like I say, I can't even get into my YouTube account because I posted too many, you know what I'm saying, too many uncensored, or, you know, it's you know, truth. But at the same time, like I say, it's not so much what I say, it's about my intention. You know, and my intention is always good. I'm never a malicious person. I'm actually withdrawn to the point of not being malicious. I'll actually curl up into a ball, like a fetal ball, like saying that if I can't help you, then fine. But I'm not gonna be the one to destroy a person. But it's almost like with like Darth Vader. My man be like, yo, I had you choke yourself with your own hand. I had you choking yourself with your own hand, which means that basically I'm not doing it, you're doing it. So it's almost like with me, I'm realizing that whether I actually complain about the resistance I get is like a wind bane. It lets me know whether I'm going in the right direction or not, you know. Because like I said before, everything will actually help you and accelerate you to your own doom and destruction, you know. And with that being said, like I say, I've yet to actually kick out all the disclaimers. There are no disclaimers, only those who actually know me, you know. And it's funny because those who know you really have a tendency to dislike you more than everybody else. Because when people know you, they want you to always be that same you. They're like, I know you. And they don't want you to change. But one thing that always changes is that, no, one thing that stays the same is change. My man said that yesterday, yesterday, no, 2 days ago. He said change is the only constant, you know? He didn't really say that verbatim, but it was, you know, change is the only constant. Change is the only thing that stays the same. Everything else, you know what I'm saying? And speaking of change, it's getting so now that, you know, we're getting ready to change over our currency to the CBDC, which I don't have a problem with. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with that. And I wonder sometimes, like I say, right now, there are quite a few mixes. And I'm really thinking that the COVID is just an example of us being allergic to different DNA. You know, it's not so much that there's actually an actual virus. You know, it just means that there's an influx of different people, which I'm not saying is bad, but I will say this. Donald Trump did say that if we do not re-elect him as president in 2024, he said Russia will attack, which basically lets me know that Melania Trump is Putin's niece. And they did say that Russia tampered with the ballot boxes that led to Trump's being voted into office. And the reason why Russia was upset with the Ukraine was because the Ukraine was joining NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and they were basically saying that they didn't want the United States to be in their business watching what they were doing. Because, I mean, think about it, man. I mean, Putin cut off gas to 80% of Europe. And we just had an opioid crisis. And that opioid crisis comes on the heels of every war that we've ever had, you know what I'm saying? Especially the ones in Vietnam and Desert Storm, where they actually they acquire a lot of opium. And so after that opium, we had an opioid crisis. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like for all the soldiers that died in Vietnam, those bodies were actually looked forward to, or they were hoping people would die so they could, you know, bring that over here, because our economy based on dollar bills cuts down trees to print those cotton blend dollars. But the best economy, or the best resource to back an economy, is that which sells the most and is tied into what can come from the ground. How they say, they get it out in the mud. So basically, heroin and opium, just like gold, certain places have certain things that come out of the ground in abundance. Gold is one of those things that comes out of the ground in abundance in Africa, and cocaine comes from the coca leaves in abundance in South America. So basically, and then heroin and opium, that comes out of the ground in abundance in China. So, and then they have lots of gas, and there's lots of gas in Russia, because the dinosaurs, there's a fossil fuel. So all dinosaurs died in Russia where it's cold, or where it started at least to get cold. It wasn't always cold, because if it was always cold, those dinosaurs wouldn't have been there. They got there because it was warm and it got cold all of a sudden. So really what they're doing is they're actually trying to change over the our reliance upon dollar bills, because credit went up. After 1974 and everybody went to off the gold standard, everybody's credit went up. They gave everybody an extended credit line, and they allowed the greed of a few people to economically ransack the lives of mostly everybody. But see, that's why I don't have a problem with the CBDC, because there's certain things that are necessary versus what's not. And I ain't gonna lie, I need food. Like MF Doom said, I need food. I need food. So I'm thinking about like how certain farmers, you know, they have perishable goods, and they'll sell those perishable goods at a nice price, but they spent 6 months out of the daggone out of a year's growing season, depending upon what you're growing and where you are, to bring that stuff to us. So it's almost like when it gets to a certain point where we're trying to actually get the best for our buck or money, we got to support farmers that grow certain things. So when they grow certain foods, we can get a deal on that. CBD is saying that you can get all that stuff. Like some of these countries, like across seas, they're tropical. We had NAFTA in 1993, which basically allowed us to ship a lot of businesses overseas. You know why? Because some of these businesses were agricultural based and the growing season is extended. We don't have that here in America. In America, we have 4 seasons. Some people only have 2 seasons. I've been to Florida. It only gets cold for a little while. So they have like orange groves, things like that in abundance. And you can get a deal for that stuff. But see, the only issue with any of that is whether or not you can actually get what you need versus what you want. Now, I know it sounds funny. But I'm one of those people, yeah, I'm trying to avoid food. I'm trying to be a breatharian, but I gotta eat. And right now, if the CBDC, central bank digital currency, will guarantee me food, they can watch every purchase I make. That's the only problem with it. They're gonna watch every purchase you make, which I don't have a problem, because I'm like, yo, look, what am I doing? Buying things to fund a rebel army against the US? No, because actually what it is that we're not allowed to actually trade with anybody for as much. We're in debt. That line of credit ran us into debt from like 1974 up to now. We had buppies and yuppies and those young entrepreneurs, you know what I'm saying? And then so what happened was we got to a point where we are now, we're hyperly inflated. The more dollar bills we print out, people buy cocaine, they send that over back to South America, it goes out of circulation, it costs money to print. So basically, it's almost like we're having like a restructured, it's like we're filing for bankruptcy. like saying that I'm going to restructure your loan to decrease your payments so you can still make your payments, but it'll be along these conditions. So basically what it's basically saying is that we don't have a line of credit right now. America, let's say we were paying, say we were paying about like 50% of our actual credit. And now we're breaking it down and paying only 10%. So it's like, you know what? You're only allowed to trade with certain countries overseas based upon whether or not you're making good on your credit a certain percentage. So basically what they're saying is that if you allow us to restructure your currency, then we will extend your line of credit. Who don't want that? We are in economic turmoil. This country is, yo, I paid $1.88 for a lettuce. I paid $1.88 for lettuce. I paid 88 cents last year for lettuce. So what it boils down to right now is that it doesn't matter what country it is. I don't even care what country it is. So basically what it boils down to me is that whoever can feed me and put food on my table, that's what I'm working with. See what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. America is a proprietorship. The same thing was done in Africa. It does not matter. So basically what it boils down to is that whoever's going to keep your stomach from rumbling at night, we're going with that. We're going with that. See what I'm saying? Unless I'm actually funding some terrorist organization that's actually subversive against the United States, then I'm wrong then. I'm wrong then. I'm wrong then. But I'm not wrong if I'm making purchases. See what I'm saying? The only thing that's gonna be hurt by that is what? Certain people who buy certain things that can't be taxed. Non-taxable goods are basically what we're actually dealing with. Non-taxable goods are going to be an issue. To see how I'm telling the truth right here, and I'm making a video. I'm telling the truth, and I'm actually getting sir. What? The truth is illegal now. See what I'm saying? Your Constitution is shredded. I'm exercising my right to free speech, and I'm sitting here making this video. See what I'm saying? This is not a soliloquy. This is not random. This is being recorded, and it shall definitely be posted for as much as it is. And I'm going to go buy me some bananas right now. Matter of fact, I got this book. I'm looking at 55 cents a pound bananas, 55 cents a pound, and they sell bananas in Malaysia and other places. If they'll restructure our deal, I will buy all the coconuts and bananas they got. You can watch me buy it, tax it. You can tax it. Thank you, bus driver. You can tax it and all that stuff. And what it boils down to is that when I get all that stuff, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. You see what I'm saying? I want to eat. I'm going to eat right now. See what I'm saying? I'm going to eat right now. You see, now you know. See what I'm saying? She was trying to shut me up. I'm not trying to start no mess. I'm trying to eat some food. But see, my thing about it is that certain people get certain information based on a need to know basis. I don't have a problem with that. See what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with that. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, we're basically getting a chance to restructure our loan or line of credit based upon certain people who feel that. I mean, it's just what it is. It's just simple numbers. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, nobody gets into a Kendrick video. Nobody gets into a Kendrick video. See what I'm saying? And the restructuring is based upon what? The economic, people don't want to stop eating meat. And see, when you don't want to stop eating meat, that means what? That means that you're going to have a limited amount of things to choose from. It's not going to help you. Meat will send you to the hospital. They put so many chemicals in meat that when you get sick, it's not because of it's because of the meat you eat. And the drugs. They pump drugs in the meat. Why is it called the the Food and Drug Administration? The FDA. The Food and Drug Administration. That's because the drugs are in the meat. And you gotta put drugs in meat to sell old meat. And see, it's like being a drug dealer. If I can sell something that's gonna destroy you and you're gonna buy it, then I'm gonna dress it up and make it look nice and neat. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna do. And that's what happens. People get mad because I can't get no meat. Okay, you can get your meat, but I'm gonna shoot so many drugs in it, you're gonna be at the hospital. You're gonna be at the hospital sick as a, whatever you wanna call it, a dog, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, for eating the meat. But I don't have that issue because I don't eat meat. People are mad at me because I'm out here, you know what I'm saying, chillaxing. When you eat veggies, Look at me. It's about, I don't know, it's probably about 45 degrees out here. It's not really cold out here. It's not, I mean, if it was, I'd be covered up doing it. So the point, the point that I'm making pretty much is this. Besides the fact that she was trying to shut me up, I'm on the bus making a video. You can't make a video? It reminds me of that video that Lupe Fiasco made. He said what? You can't tell the truth. You're on the bus with like a gag order. A gag ball in your mouth. You can't tell the truth, you know what I'm saying? You have no rights. You have no rights. You have the right to eat meat and die. You know what I'm saying? Not me. Peace, peace. Peace, peace. 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 Peace, peace. And there it is. More, peace, peace. So as it is, you know what I'm saying? People want my attention. I'm just chilling, relaxing. People around, and look, some people were not able to get sex. Like, yo, I've always wanted to have sex with a black man. And then when economic times hit, they be like, damn, he poor as hell. I'm gonna use the fact that he poor. I'm gonna offer him a little change for some dang-a-lang. But you know what? Somebody can pay you $1,000 to give you a disease that you'll never get off your ass. You'll never get the pox out your ass. And that's why my whole deal is like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just more so like, hey, I'm steering clear. I couldn't even get to my daggone YouTube account. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't get into my YouTube account because it got to a certain point where it was like the videos I was posting, too astringently true. Too astringently true. And people are not saying, let's see how I'm dressed. They're mad. I had my times of struggling and I'm still struggling. But they don't want to see you doing good. They want to see you downtrodden because they want to be your master. You're not my master. You know what I'm saying? You're not Yeshaya. Because my master leads me unto life. Anything that calls itself your master and it leads to your death and doom, people have been actually coaxed into adopting lifestyles. Some of these dudes been in prison for a long time and they're living like they're in prison now. Because you know why? You are in prison. Because you don't have freedom anymore. And they're using certain bus drivers. I ain't gonna say nothing. See, I've been trying to be nice, but see, I will never not use the teachings and that which is employed by Yeshaya to do what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? This is my platform, my podium right here. Some folk be on the corner, you know what I'm saying, for change. But when you beg for change, does it change things? No. When you beg for change, it don't change things. It actually makes things to the point where they stay the same and people are really looking forward to you staying down and they hate the day and they rule the day they rule the day that you're not on that corner making yourself available to them. And they will grant you so many powers. There's some dude riding around with it used to be the hardest penis, now it's the softest penis for as much as he didn't got all the poor people pussy he can get, the poor pussy he can get, you know what I'm saying? To the extent to which he's like, but damn, if they ever get off the goddamn corner, then that'll be the end of all the pussy I can get, the poor folk pussy I can get. But like I was saying before, that shit fucks you up to the extent to which when you having sex with somebody that's on crack cocaine and that shit, you got a numb ding-a-ling, the numb ding-a-ling come from their vagina. So really, the last thing you want to do is sell vagina while you got cocaine in your system, because you gonna numb the penis of your of the person that's buying vagina from you, and he gonna bang you until you get about 3 years worth of goddamn work on you in a few minutes or hours. I don't know. Peace, peace.